Top of the morning to you. Hey, I'm Michael, or as the grandkids call me, Roo. Thanks for joining me this morning. It's Friday morning, and I am glad it's Friday morning. Whoa, what a week. It's been busy. It's been crazy. It's been crazy busy. But I'm good. Good to see you. And some of you popping on already. I'm going to say hello to you and then get started. Got a great day. I want to have some fun here. Show you what I got on the desk in just a second. Well, wait, I had nothing on the desk. What did I do? I had top of the morning to you. I painted this painting a year ago. A little over a year ago, and just with my pen. It's one of the days I was playing around with my fountain pen that I talk about all the time that bleeds and leaks and runs. And I got 3 fountain pens I keep on the deck nowadays. Ooh, look, I ordered a new one. Some of you may have heard me talk about this one. Anyway, let me say hello, and then I'll jump in. I'll tell you what I've been doing. Let me tell you how I spent 12 hours yesterday with my daughter. Well, maybe I was cutting out paper dolls while she was doing the real work. But let me tell you how that goes. Hold on, I got to get into this here just for a second. Let me just jump on. There I am right there, and I'm here this morning. Got on 2 pair of glasses again because one is just really a headband. I think some of you who might have missed the show opening last week, I use these. My son gave me these glasses. The baby boy, the moose we call him. He's 6'5", 250, just muscle man, and was a hammer thrower in college, Appalachian State. But he went to Africa, came back as a skinny guy with long hair and muscles. But he gave me these sunglasses, and I thought, well, they don't work really well in the bright sun. But then, because I knocked one of the lenses out, well, then I just took the lenses out. One day I was just goofing off. And I thought these work great for holding my hair out of my face, because it's just welcome to the art world. And I like long hair. My wife likes long hair. So I keep my hair kind of long, and some days I pull it back. You don't hear us. You say men pull it back. You don't hear men say, I got to put up my hair. That's like putting up peaches or canning beans. Anyway, one day I did put them on, and I was getting ready to read something, and I went, oh gosh, I can't see. And so I realized I'd taken the lens out, and I liked them, and so I just ordered a pair of these. My blue ones were so scratched up anyway, so I've ordered some glasses, and now I need to clean these lenses. Here we go. Here's Kleenex right here. I just got to get my act together here. It's Friday morning, so we're going to have some fun today. So Lisa Haymaker, I hope you got my note. I just saw you pop up. Such timing, huh? It's only been a month and a half. I've had a painting trying to get it done for you. It's finished, and you sent me a note late, I guess it was late last night, that said, hey, do you have that painting? Or, yes, I do. It's finished. It's coming to you today. I think I sent you a photo, but there we go. Look at that. Here we go. Yeah, I used my glasses for a headband too. I left them up there. Okay. Chip Fur taking a sip. Buddy, I talked to you, and coffee. We're going to have a great conversation about coffee because you're going to love what I'm getting ready to throw up on the screen here in just a little bit. Take a couple with you. Here we go. Let me just say hello to some of you. Joy Eaton, you jumped on really fast this morning. And John Small, thank you. Shanoa, thank you. Beverly Miller, Chris Whitaker, or is it Whitaker? I love that. Michelle, yippee! Friday with Rue. Michelle, you crack me up. I appreciate your little comments every now and then. Tia, thank you for being here from Greenville. Judy Showen, thank you. Terry Tardy, good morning to you. I sent you a note. I hope you got it. Jackie Wallace, Patricia Brooks, thank you. And I got to tell you guys, I'm going to let the cat out of the bag here real soon. Patricia and I are working on a little something that's going to be fun. Okay, she's a good artist. And is becoming a friend, and we've talked a little bit, and so that's all I'm going to say. That's the teaser, as they call it in TV. The teaser is we're working on something, and we'll get back to you. Woohoo! All right. Good morning, Alex. Alex, come on, Alex. We got to do this right now. Here it is, folks. Look at this. Alex Mebin, who is an old acquaintance from years and years and years ago. I'm older than him, but he was around this organization called Young Life way back, and he lives out on the West Coast. He gets up every morning, but from sunny, smoky Southern California, he says, Alex sent me a picture that I'm just going to show you, right? It was a couple days ago when I was painting. Here it is. Boom. Take a look. Boing. This is Alex's cat. and the cat is watching the show. I love that. I like how his head's kind of turned like, what is that guy doing? Okay, that just makes me laugh. That's all there is to it right there. Thank you, man. Kim Sheets, morning to you. Tamberly, Sonia, Randall, Taylor, Craven, Chip Fur, just said hello to you. Janet Kelly, Marion Jones. Marion, that's quite a photo you got there with the whole mask thing, and you look like Nurse Nancy, man. And this is a crazy time, isn't it? I'm still wearing a little bit of a mask, or most of the time I'll just carry a Kleenex and do it like this. Put it in my nose and say, yeah, it's a mask. Go on. Margie, we might splatter something today. Is it Renee Keese? I've seen your name all the time, but I don't say it much. Renee, R-E-N-E. Denise Albright, Teresa, goodness gracious, Miss Carla, you're here. Lee Packus from Florida. Lee, thank you for your gracious offer, and I'm going to take you up on it, and I'll keep you posted, buddy. Thank you much. Chris Williams, Ruth Ann, Godey, Laura, good night. Thank you, folks, for jumping on. I'm so excited to see you. I got some big news today because Aaron and I spent our 12 hours working on, let me slow down, working on the website and also on Rue 857, which is, you know what we're calling it? I wrote around it, I painted around it for 100 days, and now more than 100 days, and I'm going to continue doing my painting shows on Monday, Tuesdays, and just because I love doing this for the community and the community that you've become, the Ruse Crew, I love it. Hadn't been on the site much, but I got to get on there and see what you guys are doing. You're crazy. But the Ruse Crew is happening. You guys have made a community. You've helped out some unbelievable people. I'm just going to start right now and tell you what you've done. Look at this a little bit. You remember when I painted with Skeeter Powell and his folks down in Greenville, South Carolina, and they got a painting from me that was just a real kind of quick Roodoodle that I did, maybe one of the time-lapse pieces that I do sometimes before the show. I did that, and then Skeeter got that from me, who runs this organization for folks with disabilities, and they do an art class with them. Many of you have sent checks that I've gotten on to Skeeter. I think there's one on my desk right now that goes on to him. And because there's a lot piled up on my desk because I've been on the road and doing videos and some TV stuff. Anyway, not my TV stuff, but working on the TV stuff for other people. And this is the closest thing I'm going to get to TV. I got a great face for radio, all right? So anyway, but Skeeter has framed this painting, and then in their art classes that they teach with these special folks in Greenville, they give them each month someone gets an award, and so they're going to use this painting as a revolving award, and I love it. Here's the painting right here. Let me just show you this. This is great stuff because you were a part of this. So it says, "Life is short, celebrate." So it's a pretty good sized painting. It's all matted and framed really well. The person who gets it, in this case, it was this sweet young lady right here. Let's see if she pops up over this. There she is, okay? Danielle gets it. And there's Danielle with some of her artwork. Danielle Palmer, man, I love this. Thank you for painting with Rue. It makes my day. Woo! So, wait a minute, have a sip of tea here. So she gets to keep this for a month, and then I want her to sign it on the back, and then Skeeter and his gang award it to the next person the next month, and it can teach her. So each month they get to hang this painting. Isn't that a cool idea? Yeah, more than you could ask for. All right, better go to the desk here before I fall apart. All right, Klein bag is out today. Here it is. Got a few things in there. This is my bug out bag. There's my paints in my Altoid box, and I pulled pins out of it. I had it with me all day yesterday. We needed it. And so let's paint something, and then I'll come back and tell you some of the other things. So Bobby King, thank you. Philip, thank you for being on the show. Lori, thank you. Mickey, Donna, good grief, people. I love it that you guys are just popping in here like crazy. And you're part of this community, and you're sharing the page, you're liking the page. It makes a difference for what I do. It lets Facebook know we're around. We're saying, hey, you know what? We're lighting a dark place. We're throwing paint on the wall. So let's paint something. Here we go. Then I'll come back and make some other announcements when I got my head together. Kind of went off there on a on a tangent. I was in my library yesterday. There's 6 books in there. This is one of them. Just 6 books in my library. Practical Beekeeping from 1977. And don't you love this? Take a look. This book belonged to, it was $5.95. There's the price. Garden Way Publishing up in Charlotte, Vermont. Okay, but look whose name's on the inside. Can you see this right here? Look at his handwriting. Shirley G. Hahn. That's my dad. My dad's name was Shirley. And he called my mom Joe. So my parents were Shirley and Joe. So when I'd go to school and they'd say, we need your parents' name. And I'd go, well, Shirley and Joe. And they'd say, okay, so your mom, Shirley, could she be one of the room moms? I go, no, my dad is Shirley. And they go, young man? I go, no, my dad is Shirley, my mom is Joe. My mom's name was really Margaret, but it's when they dated, he called her Joe, which the kids referred to as Mama Joe when she was living and on this planet. And so, anyway, so that's my dad's handwriting. But this is part of, he was a beekeeper, and he had 65 or 70 hives, and so I grew up with, everything was sticky. I pulled this out because I like this bee on the cover. I'd paint it going the other way, but I think I'm going to try that bee, and I'll just kind of doodle around with it a little bit. But first thing is a warm-up painting this morning. I thought I'd do something really crazy, not a rooster. I sketched out a little dragonfly, and I'm just going to use it with this pen here, fountain pen. All right, so you ready? Here we go. I don't even know if I got any music queued up. I just have been doing so many different things here. Let's see if this will play. No, I don't think there's anything in there. Let me throw some music in the till here. Here we go. What do we got? A little. Maybe it is. Oh, it says there's a disc in there. We'll play. Oh, there we go. Okay. Who has CDs anymore? But I can't use my, with the computer being used for this and my tablet being used for that and my camera being used for this and my phone being used for something else, I've run out of technology. So I've got to clean up my act here. All right, 2 cups on the desk today. I'll tell you more about that, too, a little bit later. Let's paint something. Here we go. Thank you for being here. Marie Doyle, glad you're here. Wow, Karen Bender, Colleen. There's just so many people to say hello to. I got some crazy announcements today. Hope, Wade, thank you that you're here. Margaret, my singer. Hey, love it. Margaret is a great name. Yes, it is. Okay, unless somebody starts calling you Joe. All right, here we go. Look at this. You know what? I don't go out and study insects too much. I usually use a fly swatter when I'm out there with them, not too much. But I don't. I just know that the wings are something like this, and so those people who studied biology and studied bugs. I know there's an official study for it, and the name just left me. Somebody will tell me in a second online, I'm sure, what that's called. I just can't remember right now. And it's not that important anyway. But, so there we go. I'm just sketching a little bit of a bug here, or a dragonfly. Dragonflies really don't have antennae, which would be fun if they did, because that would be, and this pen is running out of ink, but I've cleverly ordered some online. Okay, and this pen doesn't bleed as much as this pen. This, of course, is my big fountain pen. If I go in there and do some of this, on the wings, this ink will really take off because it's speedball ink. Very good for calligraphy or cartooning. If you have a speedball dip pen, you dip it in the well. Sometimes I like to. I have a quill downstairs too. I had a friend that bring me a quill on my art bar. Anyway, all right. So I thought we just needed a little dragonfly this morning. I'm going to leave the pencil in there. I'm not even going to erase the pencil, and I don't sketch too much with the pencil, but. Here's one of the rules, non-rules, and that is if you sketch with a pencil, sketch like an ice skater who's on thin ice. You don't want to just really bear down and do a line like that. Then you'll have to erase it and go, well, I've did my paper and it really doesn't erase. So just sketch like that. Look at that. And then it's gone. So sketch lightly. Hold your brushes and your pencils loose and lightly. I'm going to talk about that when we get into 857, which is going to be the painting class. And remember, I told you as I was opening this morning, toyed with calling it the non-class class, called it a gathering, a teaching, instructing time. Hey, it's class, okay? And I'm going to pretend that I know what I'm doing and lead you through some whimsical concepts from the beginner through. So I'll tell you more about that today because I'm going to tell you what's coming to you who have sent me emails. That's what my daughter has been working on. She's brilliant in her process here. And so we've changed some things around. in the website, in the design, all that. I had to get a lot of the back end stuff done so that you people could get the information that you needed. And so it's coming. There's more fun coming too. Hey, you want me to prove it to you? Take a look at this. The new website's going to have one of these up there. Let me see if I can find it. Here it is right here. I think it's going to look something like this. Boom. Look at that. Ta-da. It's a diner mug. Gotta love it. If you do love it, it's going to be available soon. And I'm working on it. Anyway, it's going to be a diner mug, and it's going to be kind of as heavy as I can get my hands on one. And so it's going to be kind of fun. This is one of the roosts that I've done a long time ago. I love this head. It's just kind of so it's going to be happening. It's going to be happening at Roodoodles.com. It's not available yet, but I'll let you know as soon as it is. But I just had to show you. So it's going to be a root mug. And look, I've got look at this mug here. You'll love this mug. Can you let me move this page? Look, a lady sent me an email this week. 2 days ago and said, hey, I was at a little diner in Jack's Beach. There's one in Atlantic Beach, actually. And she said, there's one in Jack's Beach and Atlantic Beach. She said, I was at this thing called the Beach Diner, and I saw one of your paintings on the wall. And so that made me go to your website, and then I went to Etsy, and I bought one of the prints. Can I get an original of some ocean prints, or do you have Florida prints? And so I thought, look at this. And I brought this from the Beach Diner when I was down there giving Barry, who owns the restaurant, a couple paintings for his wall. And I love this. I'm on here with the funeral home and the Turner Plumbing. And but Roodoodles isn't on here, so I'm going to send him one of my mugs when they come in. It made me think of that this morning. And I was going to drink out of it, but I was already drinking out of my Dean and DeLuca cup, which they're no longer in business. You know, they flew the coop. Maybe they're in New York. I don't know, but they bolted out of Charlotte. Put paper over the door and hit the road. So here's what I'm going to do. I've got a little bit of ink in here. Someone just asked me, could I put, yes, could I put Speedball ink in this pen? You betcha. All I got to do is make sure the cartridge fits. So I have to find a Speedball cartridge that'll fit this. So sometimes that can be a little tricky. Once again, if you want to buy pens, go to the office supply stores or the art stores, take your paper you like to draw on, and just be obnoxious for a little bit. No, be friendly, but say, I need to find a refill in this ink that'll fit this pen. They'll go, well, we have these pens. You go, no, you're not listening. I've got this pen. I want something that'll fit in here. See, I'm about to run out of this one. In fact, I think we're done. And so, just so happens that I like this ink. It doesn't bleed as much as my Speedball ink. Speedball is really loose and it takes off. The Lamy ink that I have in here is about in between, and both of these are medium points, and that's a fine point, okay? Do I feel like I'm talking fast? I feel like I'm hearing me fast, so I'll slow down. Okay, so I'm going to do some more crosses here, a little hatching on the wings of this little dragonfly. See how simple this is? Most people try to overdo it and make it look like it's a real dragonfly. It's going to leave the paper. I'm not going to try to do that. I'm just going to take my little mist bottle here, and it's fine, really fine. And then I'm just going to spray a little bit on here and just wet it. And let that ink just sort of fuzz up a little bit and just get a little loose. And while it's still wet, I'm going to go in with a little bit of yellow and green and some purple. And I'm just going to do a wash over the wings like this. I might come in with a little bit of more purple in there. And it needs a little more green. Let it wash out a little bit like that. And you're going, well, those are not symmetrical wings. And you go, you know what? God maybe didn't make the dragonfly symmetrical. Sometimes, they're not like you can measure everything up. I'm an asymmetrical person. 3 is better than 4. 7 is better than 6. Makes that one stand out in the middle. I kind of like that. But that's just how my brain works. And you go like, well, it's matchy-matchy. You don't have to be matchy-matchy so much when you're doing art like this. We'll talk about that in 857. Some of the things that people just sort of, and I have. My experience is for the last 12 years, I've done this by myself without too much instruction from anybody else, just discovering it and saying, you know what? You know how you discover things? You fail a lot. Okay? So, Chip, if you're watching, man, did you see that mug pop up? So I need to put some coffee in this. So my friend Chip is going to be talking to me about maybe could we roast something that's really to Roo's taste and make some brew, BROO, brew, coffee worth crowing about? I'm thinking about it. Okay. I love it. I love it. I like fun partnerships with people when it helps both ways. And his coffee company, by the way, Climbs Roast, does some great things for causes. The cause right now is just remarkable, something they're working on. And so I love that very, very much. So, all right. So here we go. So I'm painting a little, this is my warm-up painting this morning, a little dragonfly. And you see now what's happening to that ink? See how it's just making that soft? There's no hard lines in this. I kind of like that. I'm going to go in here and I'll even break those lines up a little bit more. And there's a color in here that's, it's kind of a red-orange looking, and I thought it maybe just looks perfect for the dragonfly's eyes. And you got to be careful there because I put a lot of that ink in there, maybe more than I needed. And I think there's a little bit more of purple needs in here, maybe a little more green on the outside. And then what green I got left over, I'm just going to splatter around here just a little bit like this. Maybe I'll get some of this yellow, strike it in, and then I might just come out of here with a little bit of yellow. And all I'm doing here is I'm holding one brush down and I'm taking the other brush and just striking it like this. A little bit of paint, a little bit of water in here. A little bit of tea works great too. See that? Can you see I'm just dipping it in my teacup? Here it is right here. Just dip it down in my teacup and just sort of splatter it. Get a little bit of that splatter in there like that. Now, if I get too much, I can come in with this blotter and just pick it up, and I can do a little erasing also. All right. How simple it is to do a dragonfly. I'm going to take a little blue right here, a little blue right here. This is ultramarine blue. Just pop it in like this. Move this cup out of the way. I think it's casting a shadow on the artwork. And I should probably get it up here where you can see. I try to keep my eye on a monitor, but, it's too many things going on at once here. Is he complaining? Stop complaining and keep painting. I'm not complaining. How can you complain when you're painting, okay? Look at this. I'm just going to pick it up and blow it a little bit. Woohoo! That piece shot up. Oh, and by the way, I have on a white shirt today. That's why I'm being messy, isn't it? Wow. A nice white shirt that my wife brought me back from, one of her travels in the islands. What was I doing? I was home painting, I think. Okay, look at that. That's pretty cool. It needs a little yellow in there, I think, just a little bit to break some of this up. There's some splatters. Needs a little turquoise, I think. Grab a little Andrews turquoise and drop back here. Maybe his tail is turquoise. That's it right there. And then so, it's a messy little painting that looks like alive, not alive, but in theory it comes alive. It's just not cut and dried. And this is the style that I chose to do watercolor in. So that gives you a little idea of what I say when I say loose. It just happens. It just happens. I'll let this dry a little bit. I'll probably put a caption in here, and I might even come back with a pen. This is a Pentel inner gel. Come in like this and pop some more detail in these wings. Just some more little checking in here. Come in like this, okay? I noticed that too, and Carol thought of Roo. Chip fur gives it character. It just means, it's well used. I love this dragonfly, Dad. Thanks, Aaron Gouda. There's my daughter jumping on board this morning. Aaron is the brains behind the website that you'll see. And I said, Aaron, already, I was cutting out paper dolls yesterday while you were doing our heavy lifting. And I just showed him the cup. This is Aaron's work. She took my rooster head and popped it on there. Boing! So it gives you an idea of how cool that is. And we toyed over, should it have color? Should it be this? No! I just love it like that. Let the coffee be the color in the cup, okay? That's what I like about sometimes you just look at my cups, you go, whoa, I love that. So anyway, that's kind of how that pops up. Hey, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to tell you a little bit about, thank you for loving it. Purdy dragonfly, Brenda says. Purdy. Is one a Rooberg? What is a Rooberg? Here's a Rooberg. Let me show you what a Rooberg is. As he leaves his chair, don't go away. Talk amongst yourself. He's coming back. There. Hey, I had to go over on the floor and pick up. If I had a table, I'd put it on the table, but I don't. I'm up in my office this morning. I'm down at the art bar. So a Rooberg. Those of you who haven't done a study for Rube Goldberg, one of my favorite characters in the 40s who did editorial cartoons. And he did the Rube Goldberg machines, which were, he poked fun at Industrial Revolution. And the concept of that was, could you draw a machine, could you do something in the way of a machine that it took more steps to do than you really needed done? Could you, the concept, here it is. The concept is the Bradley Mousetrap game that came out in the late 60s, early 60s, mid 60s. It was the Mousetrap game where you pulled a spring back or wound a crank and it kicked a boot that rolled a ball down the stairway that flipped a diver over into a bathtub. I know the whole game. So I started thinking when I was a kid, and I didn't even know Rube at that time, I'd love to build stuff like that. And so I spent quite a few time, even in a children's ministry, writing, producing, and building Rube Goldbergs to tell stories. So when I got into doing a little bit of watercolor, I started painting. So here's a typical Ruberg right here. I call it Ruberg instead of Rube Goldberg because, well, he's dead, and I'm not stealing his name. It's just that I'm Rube. So here's one right here. So if the time clock goes off, boop, the steam whistle blows, and here's the guy that's in charge. He's in the lab coat. He pulls this ring down, and what happens then is that the coffee's been steeping, of course, in this French press, which was made by the Italians. It's too weird. Okay, so this guy pushes the cylinder in. When he hears the whistle, he pulls this ring, and when he pulls this ring, we should put a little color in this ring right here, just right there. I'll just go ahead. See, I just changed your painting, Lisa. This is the one that's been done for Lisa Haymaker. And so it comes down. It's a little 6x6 painting. It's called Coffee Station Number 82. He pulls this ring. It tips over the coffee pot. It runs down through here. This little peep adds the sugar. The valve gets pulled here. You check the temperature gauge. This guy puts in the cream. Once the temperature reaches, it goes through this old piece of a trumpet. The grasshopper opens the valve right here. And then, of course, it runs in the cup, and then we all lived happy ever after. So it's a great little, that's a Ruberg. It's unnecessary steps to do a simple process. And the mechanics of that, the piping and the pieces and all that you sort of think of, they just make me laugh. They bring joy to me, and they're storytelling fodder. Remember that? My style is sort of storytelling fodder. You know, that's kind of what I like about painting that. And by the way, I'm over here messing with my dragonfly again. He needed a little more yellow in his wings. See that? Okay. So, is a painting ever done? Finally. But that's a Ruberg. Ta-da! Now I'll put it back over in the floor because I got to take it downstairs and mail it. Good morning, Jack. Good morning, Brenda again. Your favorite game? Denise says that was her favorite game when she was a kid. And Lisa, thank you. You approve. You're on the show. I'm good because that's going to be yours. Put it by your coffee pot. And Luann, you do have one, yes. And thank you, Beverly. God did give me an imagination, and boy, he gets the credit. That's where it comes from. So I'm going to paint, I felt a dragonfly coming on, and I want to paint a bee, and then I want to paint a rooster. And I want to paint a bee today on something slick. Here we go, like this. This is some paper I use quite often. It's mixed media paper. It's 184 pounds. You can buy this. You can order this from an art store, or you can actually order this paper. Just get this paper from a big box store, like a Michael's or any place like that. Make sure that you pay attention to the label. It says mixed media. Several do. Some are 117 pounds. Some are 90 pounds. You want to make sure that this one is 184 pound. It's just going to help you. It's got a little bit of a vellum surface on it. And that's slick. Remember what I say there? A fly couldn't light on this paper. He'd come in and go, shuffle, shuffle. What's the sound effect? Shuffle. All right? So that's what would happen. Okay. So Eliano has, Eliana, why is it so hard for me to say your name? What do you have for me? I'd love to have something from you, my dear little friend. I have a little friend artist who's watching me from up in a little city in North Carolina, and I love that. Okay, so mixed media. Here's the reason I use mixed media paper sometimes. If I had painted this on a mixed media paper, it would have really taken off. Okay, so if I do a bee on here, and so I'm looking at this bee, but I think I'm going to change how I do the bee today. I'm going to draw them completely different. I'll do it in pencil just to show you. I'm going to draw his big old bee bottom first, coming down like this, maybe like this. Okay, there it is. There's his big old bee bottom, and then he's got it. He's jointed a little bit, so this piece is going to come in really big like this. And then he's going to have a little round head right up there. Look at that, 3 pieces. There they are. So we'll start with this in 857. We'll talk about just drawing shapes and how important they are to sketch. Do you know how to draw triangles? Do you know how to draw squares? Do you know how to draw a sphere and shade it in? So we'll talk about all that stuff in some of the cases. But take a look at right here. I'm just going to build this little bit of a bee. His body's segmented. And then somewhere right in here, I'm going to do some bee wings. And there again, I didn't study them, but I've seen them all my life. So there's his wings. Their legs are segmented. And they tend to get wider when they go down. You'll have a skinny part that'll come down wide, then you'll have a big old piece of pollen hanging in there like this. So there's a little bee taking shape. Take a look. See that? I'm going to use a pen. Here, I'll just use an easy pen that you can pick up off of the racket. A pharmacy. Just a drugstore. Yeah, grocery store may have this. You don't even have to go to an art supply store unless you want to buy a dozen of them, or a office supply store. It's a Pentel Energel. It's an 05. And watch this. I'm just going to do his head, kind of follow that shape. I'm going to do this. I left a little space in there, not to get too heavy. Here's what I mean by that. I skipped through that. I didn't just do a hard line there because I'm going to have to paint back over that. But I want to just, and notice I'm not trying to draw straight lines. I'm just sort of rummaging down through here. Have you ever noticed the bee's body's kind of rough? He's got a lot of fuzz on him, and he's got little hairs and follicles all over his body. Bees are pretty fascinating, actually. If you want to know about them, we can read about them right here. If you want. Let's take a moment. I'm just kidding, but I love this. The development of American beehive. And my dad's bee tool is over there on the shelf, and we cut bee trees when I was a kid. I got covered once literally from chin to my knees with bees. That sounds like a poem or a song. I should probably do that. And then bees have little antennae that come out like this. They're that's everything, man. That drives his little system, okay? His body is just so creative in what he's able to do. And I say it's able to do because the worker bee is a neutral bee. He's neither male nor female. There's one female in the hive, that's the queen. And then there's, of course, the only male bees in the hive are drones. And they mate with the queen, and then she kills them. See you later, dude, and dumps them off on the outside of the hive. And then the workers are just bees. They wear those little helmets, and they're like the guys in the Monty Python movie that just stand at the castle. That's how I see the worker bees. All right. Hey, from Dewberry, Woolbury, Texas. I love it. Yes, don't be surprised when you find out what a difference the paper makes, Kim Sheets. And Aaron even said you can get these pens at Target. And sometimes you can find paper, Strathmore at Target and places like that. So, look, you don't have to spend a lot to get some decent supplies to start painting with, okay? So all I'm doing here is I'm just being sort of a little rough with my pen. If I wanted to come in here with, this would be fun. Look, if I wanted to come in here with a little, I think that's going to be too dark. I was going to put another little pen in there, but here's what I'm going to do here. I'm going to paint this with water first. Here we go. This is what's good about mixed media paper. It's slick. Remember, it's vellum surface. So I'm just going to come in here, and I'm just going to touch some water in and let the ink start to soften up. See, it's already doing it. Can you see that? It's turning kind of a bluish look already. That's the ink that's not into the tooth of the paper. It's still laid on the surface, and it's still a little damp. So when I'm adding water to it, it does what watercolor does. It takes off. So there you go. Now I'm going to come in here with a little bit of, let's get over here. I don't mix many colors, but I'm going to mix some for this bee. I put a little yellow or gamboge in here. I'm going to go get a little bit of this sienna and maybe a little bit of orange. I don't know. I'm just making it up. I don't have any set pattern. I'm just watching it and see what happens. My daughter mixes in an open pan all the time and just keeps all these colors laying around that you go, whoa, what is that? And yet they liven up when you put, now look, I put a little brown in there. So that's kind of looking cool. You can't see it's right. My face is on it. Here we go. And maybe a little more yellow, a little more sienna. So I don't want it all mixed so it's like, what's the word I'm trying to say? Look, I've already spilled it on the thing. But it's good. I'm going to put it here anyway. I don't want to make it like mushroom soup. I just want a little bit of some of the colors to stand out a little bit. Might get a little more of this brown and come in right there. Bees' wings have a tad of brown in them. Look at that. Okay, so I'm going to come in with a little bit of black. Come in here. I'm painting this bee with a pretty big brush. Actually, most folks would use a tiny little brush, maybe a number 3 or a number 4 nylon brush. Here's probably a number 3. Let's see if this is a clean brush. I lost all my paper towels. Here they are. There's some, it's worn off, but it's a 3. This is a 4, American Journey from Cheap Joe's. They're good brushes. I just get so used to painting with this big old brush that I just kind of like it, and it makes me lighten up a little bit and not press down, okay? So there we go. That's kind of why I use it. And then I'll come in here and drop a stripe. Bees kind of have their own little stripes. I don't like how this is running right here on his head, so I'm going to take that and just pop it off. And we'll come back in and add a little bit of orange right in here, just a tad. And a little more of this. I just didn't like the way it splashed over there. And I want to pick up some of that yellow. So now I'm just daubing it in here. I'm not really brushing. I'm not painting like I'm painting the barn. I'm just kind of adding it in there wherever I want. Watch my daughter paint live sometimes, and you'll see how she takes a big brush and just will push it in and just go zip and let it roll out on its own. Give the water a little bit of time to react, or give the pigment a little bit of time to react to the water. That'll help you as you go through this process. Probably come in here and clean up this eye a little bit like this. Put some little hair follicles standing up here. Man, I'm so stuffy this morning, so I apologize. Just got was out on a shoot and a couple days ago working on a tool, and it's a tool that cleans out your gutters. And so one of the people who had complained about the tool, well, all the stuff out of the gutter comes down on you. And I go, well, gravity is what that, but they're right, it does. But it was a fun video to shoot anyway. So excuse me. All right, so here we go. Back to this bee. He's a big old bee, actually, and so I might just make him run a little more. Watch this. I might just spray him a little bit. Just get some fuzz on him. Look at that. See, it makes a fun little project. Now, if I touch him in here with this fountain pen, look what happens. I'm putting this in here. It's going to run too. It's going to give me all sorts of detail in the wings. And I don't want a whole lot of detail. I just want him sort of to happen that way. So, am I playing? Is he a great bee? He's a perfect bee for storytelling, or teaching kids how to paint bees, or teaching people how to paint bees, or for me to have in my workshop or studio. Get a little of this too, right there, got a little too wet, so I'm going to go back in and get some of this yellow. Drop it in there. Might drop in a little orange. All right, I'm going to paint a rooster before the day's over. Got some announcements to tell you. Look at that. Woohoo! I like it. I like it. Sorry, I just hit my camera. Okay. Would I put a little sky in here? Maybe. I don't know if I will really. Switch brushes a little bit there. I might just put a little bit of this in here and some more water. And up here. And just let this happen. Notice what I'm doing. I'm just sort of dancing all over the place. I'm not doing a bee dance. That's called a waggle, by the way, for those of you who are doing your bee study. The bee comes back from after he finds a flower, and he does a waggle dance. He literally, watch it on YouTube sometimes. He literally, you don't want to see me try it, but he does a waggle dance, and his dance, his timing, how he turns, gives all the other bees and his pheromones are going out, and he's showing all the other bees which way they got to fly. So they go out and they take off. I'm telling you, it's unbelievable. Creation is an amazing thing. All right, so here we go. So there's bee, there's dragonfly. I got to do a roux this morning, and I'm going to do it on some 140-pound paper. Look, this one's already got a splash on the edge. I'll just use it. I don't throw paper away. I paint on it. If you ever get a painting from me and it's got a little spot on the side of it, well, I'll just say that's my trademark. All right, sip of tea, and here we go. I'm sending a box of watercolor brushes and my paper with a bug-out bag to my new 7-year-old step-grandson. Look at you. Wow. And you're going to paint along with, hey, Roo, what's a wheelbarrow book? Oh, my gosh. Thank you so much. Michael has some muslin cloth bags to decorate and buggy. I'm going to stay away from the muslin cloth because it's like cutting cheesecloth or something. So does that bee have a stinger? Skeeter Pal, the bee does have a stinger, but you're not going to see it. It is inside the bee. And only, listen to this. The bee can sting you. The honeybee can sting you. And here's the thing. He's got a little stinger up in there. And if the stinger stays in your skin, it pulls out and the bee dies. So there. Kind of a sad tale, huh? Yeah, I may have bee pollen sniffles, Pat Brooks says. He's a big old bee. Nathan Hahn, I didn't text you yet this morning, buddy. What are you doing up? Get back to work. What are you doing? I got my family on, most of my family on this morning. That's awesome. Okay. Hey, Aaron Gouda, how can, Beverly Davis, you need to find Aaron Gouda. Did you tell her? Okay, there we go. She's True Cotton. So True Cotton. Let me see. Gosh, I don't have that. If you go back to my Facebook, you'll see a post I did yesterday of her picture. It's just unbelievable. Yeah, this is the Roodoodles live version of Zoology. Thank you, Laurie. I appreciate that. All right, here we go. I'm going to paint something else, but I got to show you something else before I do that. 857. Let me tell you about it a little bit. Those of you who sent me emails that say I want to be a part of Roo 857, here's what that is. Am I going to keep painting Mondays and Tuesdays? Probably, yes. Yes, I am. And I may paint later in the week on location somewhere. But on Wednesdays, right now, on Wednesdays, I'm going to do Roo 857. It's going to start September the 9th. You don't have to write all this down. If you've sent me an email, which many of you have already, I mean, the class has got a lot of people and it's filling up already. If you've sent me an email that said, oh my gosh, I want to be a part of this, the class is 857. It's in the morning, Wednesday at 8:57. It costs $8.57 per morning. It's 4 classes, so that's $34.28 or something random, which I just came up with because of 8:57. Then we'll take a week break, and then we'll start into October. We'll do 4 weeks in October. So we'll start through some basics, some simple things, go slower than I go on this show when my fast brain is geared down, and help you work through things. If you want to be a part of that, those of you who've sent me that email already, you're going to get an email from me today, and it's going to have a place where you can subscribe to an email list because I'll keep you in touch with all that. And anybody can subscribe to that list. I'd love anybody who's watching today to subscribe to that. And that way, if I send out a new product or if I have a new painting or something I'm excited about, I can just, boom, hit the button and send it to you. You're going to get an email from me. Do that. Once you paid, then you'll get a link. It'll take a while, but I'll get these populated and they'll come to you. It'll take a while, but you will get a link to a private Facebook group, and that'll let you in, or I'll admit you in for the class. Okay, so that's how that's working. And the class it's going to be called a class now, but it's not class like toast. It's not. Toast is stiff and edgy and kind of pretentious and rough on the edges. You scratch toast and it sounds like that, but it's more like a biscuit. In fact, I thought a video. I did a video a few years ago for this company in the South you might know of. It's called Bojangles. Let me just drink a cup of my coffee and I'll show you this video and it'll give you an idea of what I'm talking about. The difference between toast and biscuits, okay? Here we go. Just for fun, give me a break to clear up my voice here. The biscuit is about welcome.
Welcome home. It says to family, to friends and gatherings, hospitality is here. Simple, southern, unpretentious. You ever notice toast?
No.
Right. It's stiff, it's coarse, it's noisy, almost square, stands at attention. Toast says, I'm eating alone. But the biscuit is about community. It's folded and rolled and hand sculpted. It's even baked in community. Let's go, the biscuit says. Everyone in, we got friends to feed. Are you dancing?
Sometimes I dance when I bake. It keeps the biscuits light.
You can go plain and simple, butter, or you can break them out at wedding receptions, ball games, graduations, events. You can dress biscuits up. Oh, this is good.
They're real good.
You serve a real homemade, handmade biscuit, and you're going to bring people together.
We bake them by the dozen, fresh every 20 minutes.
Hey, a friend invited me in to this Bojangles restaurant one morning, and he said, gosh, I don't think I can close the restaurant down for you to shoot this commercial. I'm going like, don't close it down. Let me shoot it while she's making biscuits. So I just went in and shot around this woman, and she made 3 sets of biscuits. Well, 2 sets. I was there, 3, I guess, but I was there for about an hour. And so I had her do 3 different things. Pretty fun time with her, because I noticed she was just sort of, then I'm going like, are you dancing? She said, yes. That made me laugh. Hey, biscuits are community because we're in the South here. So this 857 Roo class is going to be like a community. And you can go to Roodoodles.com. There's a new website there today. There's some products that are coming. There's some ideas. You can email me at Roodoodles@gmail. It's the one on this website page or on that Roodoodles@gmail.com. I'll post all this on the page when I'm done this morning. I'll post a link there. Please just subscribe to my link if you'd like to do that. Whether you take the class or not, just subscribe to that. That'll put you on a list for Roodoodles, and I can keep you happening on, hey, I'm painting tomorrow. I'm going to be painting on location tomorrow. I'll send you something out when I'm doing that sort of thing. That way you don't know, oh, I missed you. I didn't know you were here. I didn't know you were going to be there. Or we got up and you weren't there, especially you friends on the West Coast and in Canada and Scotland and London. Thank you. And I'm drinking Builder's tea this morning too. But I'm going to be drinking coffee, and I hope you do. So that's it. You're going to, if you've already sent me an email, subject line 857, sign me up. I'll send you an email back, and you can go to the subscribe list, and then you'll get an email back that shows the class. It shows materials. We're working on a packet right now. And the packet you do not have to have. It says very clearly if you already have painting supplies, paint with them. If you want to use what I'm doing, and I've scaled that down for the show, there'll be a list of those too. And Cheap Joe's is working with Aaron and I to put together a little list so you can say, hey, I need what Michael needs for this class, and you can purchase that there too. So those guys have just been fantastic. Brian and Joe and all the staff at Cheap Joe's up in Boone, North Carolina. All right. I hope that's been fun. I'm going to paint one more rooster, and thank you for letting me just pounce around there. Aaron just put a link on the page. There it is right there. It says Flodest, Flodes. There's a link there that my daughter just posted if you want to go and sign up. But I'll be sending you, if you've already said, hey, been waiting on my emails since your 100 days finished, I'll be sending those through the weekend. I'll be just cutting and pasting and putting that back to you, okay? Hey, thanks. I wanted to tell you how that's happening because it's coming up, and it's pretty exciting to get to do this. Ready? Class. I'm going to call it a class. I'm still not a teacher, but I'm calling it a class. And so I'm the class clown. So here we go. Hey, a little Roo this morning, and he's in black and white. And I'm going to use my fountain pen, and here we go. Here we go. You know, it's quiet in here when I'm not talking, isn't it? Hear a little music playing in the background. Great Scott. Anyway, my daughter's worked hard at helping me put a new site together. Working with a printer right now for the mugs to happen. It's going to be exciting to see those things kind of come out. Working with my friend Chip Furr, who runs Climbs Roast. It's an awesome roasting company. That dude, he and his wife know, oh my gosh, did they know coffee? And it's just been really fun. And part of the proceeds of their coffee go to an unbelievable cause at climbsroast.org. You can find out about that. The link will be on my site too. Pretty amazing. All right, so see what I'm doing here? I'm just getting heavy with this speedball ink in here. Can you see that? Just making some marks, having some fun. I'm going to put a few in here. Just put a few dots like this. Watch what happens. This is why I love fountain pens sometimes. So watch this. Here we go. And I'm going to take a bamboo brush, a small one. Here it is. I'm throwing stuff all over the table today. And by the way, if you've been on the list also for a Roo 100 card, those are still being done. Boy, that was one of those ideas that I had that was just brilliant. I had no idea how long it would take me to actually cut the cards, sketch the cards, put the word on the cards, and then paint the cards. But I'm getting them. Some of you already received some. I probably mailed out 20 or 40 or 60, but I've got some more to make up the first 100 of you people who watch the show for 100, and you helped me in this process of getting ready to do the next part of Roodoodles and Roo 857. So, tried to keep it to a price that I thought would be fun. That's how I got to 857. Affordable. I saw an art painting class yesterday that was $59 for the hour, and you just came in and splattered paint on a canvas. And I went, I can't do that. I could go do it, but I don't think I want to do it. So, there's a difference when somebody is leading you through a process, and you just go, I could go out in my backyard and just throw paint on the canvas, right? And you can learn on your own. I just want to have some fun for those of you who want to join it. So if you want to be a part of 857, send it to me. I said I was going to do this in black and white, but I changed on the fly. And I think I'm just going to go ahead and bring in some of this Joe's red right here and paint his comb in red. There it goes right there. And his wattle, just let it come down here. Look at this. I'm not overpainting, and I'm not even going to paint, in fact, that little holiday in there. Learning to paint loose just means that I'm just letting the brush sort of dance around. I love this little bit of touch of blue. See what happens? Watch the color. Can you see that? It's just taking off on its own. That's because I put a lot of water in there, and it's happening. I'll do the same thing right here. Watch, if I just put a spot of water right there, and I go up here and get some of this, was Sag Harbor gray. Now it's a French gray because, everybody hadn't been to Sag Harbor. Well, they hadn't been to France either, but I think you get the idea. It sounds just a little more, sounds more like toast than a biscuit, doesn't it? But I think you get the idea. So, thanks for letting me roll that little video. You didn't have anything to do with it, but I thought it'd be fun for you to see. I got to shoot that. The lady that made the biscuits, I took her a copy of that video, and man, she was so excited. She goes, "Oh my gosh, I didn't know what you were going to do." And at first she was sort of embarrassed, but she was embarrassed like this. "Oh, let me see that again. Oh, I want to see that again." That's kind of how it was. It was pretty fun, And so those of you who live in the South, you know that Bojangles is one of those biscuit places that you just show up. They do make them fresh every 20 minutes. And my favorite restaurant, of course, is about 35 feet downstairs. Yeah. That's my favorite restaurant. It's in my house. Whew. Roll those biscuits out and put them in that cast iron pan, and we are talking. Love it, love it, love it. All right, this is a fun little Roo. See how he turned out right there? He's looking back. He's got this eye that sort of says, "What the heck?" So that's where the inspiration comes from to write a caption. We're going to talk about that in Roo 857 too. Where do the captions come from? How do you come up with that? What makes you take a turn and write something that is either connects me to the art or doesn't connect me to the art? It works both ways. Okay? So there's a fun little Roo this morning. I'm sorry he's over here in my face again. I moved my desk over a little bit yesterday or day before, and so I'm just putting a little bit of grass in here. I don't worry about painting the grass green. This is suggestive art. It's whimsical art. It's art that makes great illustrations. And I've gotten a lot of emails from you guys who are saying, "Wow, I've got all these poems. I've got a children's story. I want to learn to illustrate it myself." Do it. That's what this is for. You don't have to paint the whole background and make a Rembrandt work of art to tell a story. The mind that God gave you has such an imagination that you literally can just paint a window here like this and shade it in a little bit, just with a frame on the outside, just like so, and like this, and then go with a little bit of blue in there. just a little bit of water first, and then touch a little bit of blue in there, and let it just, and then dry your brush a little bit, and dry brush it over, and you get this feel for, there's this window, and maybe it's got a smudge here, maybe it's got a handprint on it, and you go, when you tell that story, people are going to go, I get it, I see it. So I want you to be loose and move into that. Finding your voice is what we're going to talk about. Finding your creative voice. That's part of what 857 is all about. Okay? Skeeter, did you get a Grit magazine? Yes, I'm in Grit. Hey, you're going to love what's coming out in Grit this month. It's one of my, I'm very modest. It's one of my favorite paintings. I threw them a little bit of a curveball. They send me 3 or 4 topics of what they want the painting to be about or what they think is going to be in the magazine. And then they just say, choose one that you think will work for us. And so Grit Magazine, I love those guys. They're out of Topeka, Kansas. It was an old newspaper in the 1800s. And then in 2005 or 6, it became a slick magazine. So I've been painting for them, I think, since 2007 or 8. Maybe. No, that's not right. 2006. I started painting for them maybe, I don't know. I'll have to look that up. Maybe 2012. Golly, it's 2020 now. I lose track of time. Okay. Still waiting on my Grit. Yeah, you know what? Grit's under COVID, Margaret, so thank you very much. And I have talked to them, and they're all working from home, too, right now, so along with everybody else. And you'll get in the lineup. It takes a little bit on a new subscription. So let me know. I'll call out there, and they'll say, what? Oh, we have no power? And I don't either. So, all right. So there's a great little concept of a rooster. Just really quickly before I get out of here this morning. Here's a little bit of blue spatter. That's how I do my backgrounds. It's just my style. Put a little bit of water, a little bit of paint in the brush. Hold the other one here and just tap on. I'll show you another way to do that in the class. There's some fun ways to splatter. Maybe you even seen the old acrylic artist or Bob Ross used to do it with a toothbrush. Flip the bristles back. I've seen my brother do that, actually. My brother toyed with painting for a while. His wife's a good artist. Really good artist. Maryville, Tennessee. All right. A little more red right here. Just a little heavier on that. We'll pull it in. And then dirty up this painting a little bit by jumping in here, getting a little bit of brown at the bottom. Just kind of dirtying up the bottom a little bit. And then let's sign it right here. I don't know why I just said that. Let's. All right, I'll sign it. I'll be the one that signs this. How's that? Okay, and let's do this. Let's do it. I did it again. You coming or not? Okay. There we go. All right, there's painting for this morning. So I got a bee, which doesn't have a name yet, but he'll have something. I'll do a little more work on him in a minute. I want to clean his eye up just a little bit and might do a couple things. I just wanted you to see how this would roll in this. You see what's happened here on this? Can you see these little squiggles? That's where I sprayed it, that pen, and just kind of let it roll in. And now I can come in with this pen again and just pick up some darker ink in here or color in here if I want to do it like that. That's pretty fun. Okay? All right. So sometimes I go back and do a little outline. Hey, look, until it ships out, I might change it the day I mail it to you, okay? I might just like it better. Then eventually I'll just put the brush down and say, it's done. I'm out of here. All right? Hey, thank you for joining me this morning. Boone or Knoxville? Boone or Knoxville. I'm not sure what that is. Oh, I see. Yeah, 2 brothers. I'm answering somebody else's question. All right. Any other questions? I'll try to get to them today. Irma, thank you. You know what, Betty? I don't know what I did with it. I left it laying down when I went to get tea. You sent me the most cool little rooster carved, and I was going to bring it up here. So thank you so much. You can, if you've signed up for Roo 857 or sent me an email, when I open my email back up this morning, I'll get them. Ding, 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 ding. But all of you who've already emailed me about Roo 857, that's the painting class, I will send you an email. Please subscribe, all of you watching right now. Please subscribe to my my email list. That'd be great. I'll keep you posted on things. But those of you who want to take the class, go a little farther. It'll help you purchase. It'll tell you how to purchase. You'll get the information. You'll get all the calendar, the materials, My daughter went through that and just like said, this is clear. This is, if you still have a question, wrap it up, put it in a can with a pound cake, and mail it to me. Hey, you guys are a treat to me, and I thank you for letting me be a part of your lives for even an hour here. And so I'm out of here. As I always go out, like the big television shows, I go out on a tune or a sound. And so here's my sound this morning, as always. Hey, thanks for liking the show. Thanks for sharing my show. Thanks for hitting those little heart buttons. It really helps. Facebook goes, oh, we'll put that guy's page over here and let this community kind of come to life a little bit. So get on the email list for Roo's Crew and look for Roo 857 if you'll be a part of the class. And then we'll go from there. I am out of here like a herd of turtles.